Hi, Awaken Kidz Conference. It's Pastor Leandra here. I'm so happy to be with you here today. Today, I get to talk to you about one of my favorite Bible stories I've ever heard, and that story is Noah and the Ark. Can you say Noah and the Ark? Very good. So today we're going to talk about Noah and the Ark. Now, this story happened years and years ago, probably thousands of years ago. It was after Adam and Eve, but before Jesus. And what happened back then is there were people on the earth and they were being naughty and they were acting like dummies. And God looked at them and said, I am very regretful that I ever made these things called humans. I'm gonna wipe the slate clean. Can you guys say wipe the slate clean? Wipe the slate clean. But there's this one person in the world who wasn't acting like a dummy and actually found favor in God's eyes. And this man's name was Noah. God saw Noah and he said, that's my boy. I love him. He walks with me and talks with me. I'm going to save Noah and his family. So God came up with this amazing plan to save Noah and his family and some animals, so get ready for that part coming up soon. But God talked with Noah and said, Noah, let's build an ark, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send rain and I'm gonna cause water to rise up from the ground and everything's gonna get washed away. Humans, animals, beasts of the field, and birds that fly in the air. So Noah said, okay, God, what's an ark? Because there had never been rain before. There had never even been a reason for a boat that big. So God had to tell him, okay, Noah, here's what an ark is. An ark is a huge boat made all out of wood, and it's gonna be 7 stories high and 1.5 footballs long. Can you picture in your brain a boat that big? It's kind of hard to do. But the reason why he was making such a big boat is because he was gonna have 2 of every animal on the face of the earth in that boat with him. And it wasn't just gonna be Noah and some animals, it was gonna be Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their wives. Wow, that sounds like quite a zoo on water. But anyway, Noah was faithful and he said, okay, God, I'm gonna do it. So Noah and his sons and his families, they all jumped in and started constructing this ark. Now imagine the people back in that day. They must have made fun of Noah. They must have said, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You don't need a huge, gigantic boat. But Noah knew he had an assignment and he was gonna carry it out. So he brushed off the laughers and brushed off the people that were making fun of him, and he kept his head down and was faithful. Now finally, after years and years of constructing this ark, Noah was 600 years old, and the animals started showing up 2 by 2, God said. Can you imagine 2 polar bears just showing up in the Middle East? They must have been really, really hot. But animals from all over the world showed up and peacefully and calmly walked into the ark. Noah and his family walked into the ark. They got ready, they hunkered down, and God closed the door. Now it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Waters came up from below the ground, and the water level started rising and rising and rising. And as it rose up, the ark started rising with it. Can you imagine the people that were knocking on the wood and saying, let us in, let us in? Noah said, no way, sorry guys, you snooze, you lose. So as the waters were rising, unfortunately, so many people did not survive. Animals on the earth did not survive. But remember, these people had done evil in the sight of the Lord. So God wiped them off the face of the earth. But anyway, back to the good part of the story. After the rain stopped, after the waters stopped rising up, there was Noah. There was his family in the middle of waters. You couldn't even see the tops of mountains. And now, what are you gonna do now? Build a kayak or something? Make a water park? No, Noah and his family and the animals were just there in the ark waiting for the water to recede. So at some point, and recede, by the way, means go away. So at some point, Noah was like, well, we gotta find out what's going on in the world. So he sends out a raven. A raven is a bird. They're black, they're squawky, and he sent this raven out to see what would happen. Well, the raven, it just never came back. It never did anything. He never knew what was going on. So Noah said, you know what? I'm gonna send a dove. So Noah took a dove, he sent it out, and the dove came back. Nothing happened. He didn't have a little computer screen that he could tell, well, Noah, here are the conditions of the weather today. No, he didn't do that. But Noah said, okay, I gotta know what's happening out there. So he sends the dove out again. This time the dove comes back with an olive branch. That told Noah, well, the waters are going down and plants are growing again. It's almost time for us to be released. And then Noah sent that dove out one final time, and guess what? Never came back. That means the dove had found a good place to stay, a nice dry area, and so Noah knew it was almost time to get out of that ark. So they finally got to the end where it was time to come out of the ark. All the animals came out of the ark. All the waters had gone away. Noah and his family were safe, and they were so thankful that God had spared him and the rest of his family. So what Noah did, and this is a part I didn't tell you earlier, God had told Noah to bring extra animals into the ark. Extra animals, why? There were hundreds and thousands of animals in there. Well, these extra animals were for a sacrifice that Noah conducted at the end of everything. He was so thankful that God had spared him and his family that he made a sacrifice of animals to God, and it was a pleasing aroma for God. And God was so happy that Noah had showed him honor that God said, I will never ever wipe humans off of the face of the earth again with a flood. And the way that I will remind myself is by putting a huge rainbow in the sky. So God put a rainbow in the sky, and we even see rainbows today. Raise your hand if you've seen a rainbow recently. I know I have. I saw a double rainbow just the other day. That rainbow is God's promise to the earth that he will spare their lives and never wipe them away with a flood ever again. So kids, what a wonderful story about how God is so good. And when we're faithful to him, when we obey him, when we listen to him, things go well in our lives. So kids, I hope you have a great time for the rest of the conference. I hope you have fun, and please make sure that you give a hug to your volunteers, that you give a hug to Mr. Christian, and you let them know how much you love being here. All right, that's all I got. Have a great day. Bye-bye.